Alright guys, so in this video I'll be going over the rebuild or the continuing of the rebuild of my 32-inch John Deere snowblower. If you didn't see it, I'll link to the first video somewhere on the screen here, and I'll post some footage so you know what I'm talking about. But I'll be divorcing I've already divorced the auger housing from the rest of it, and now I'm actually removing the auger housing from removing the auger from the auger housing. And then also I'm going to start taking some of those small parts and getting them cleaned up. I got a new parts washer from Harbor Freight, and then I also got a 30 liter, I don't know how many gallons that is, but the big ultrasonic cleaner from Vevor. So I'll get into that and I'll show you that. And then finally, I'm going to just get a rudimentary electrolysis setup. So if you've never seen that before, that's pretty useful for removing rust and paint from parts. So I'm going to get a small part set up in the basement so I can take care of all the gears and the pulleys and the small parts before I kind of move on to the big one, which is the 250 gallon IBC tote, which I'll be dipping the auger housing and the gear housing in later. So stay tuned and we'll get into it. I just noticed too that I busted that part off, so I'm gonna have to get a replacement for this. I got this out, so I'm happy with that. Tomorrow I need to, I think that one gear looks all right. Obviously.
Well, I probably shouldn't have, but I got on Facebook Marketplace and
it's gonna go away. A little bit of bubbles, I don't know if you can see that. There. All right, little update. I just finished my second piece here. All right, I just wanted to grab this real quick because I hadn't really seen this a lot. Let me get out of the light. I don't know if you can really see that, but that key was welded on. I just hit it with a chisel. But most everything I had seen online is that the shaft will have like kind of a cutout for the key, and then the key kind of just sets in. But I just noticed too that I busted that part off, so I'm gonna have to get a replacement for this, which kind of sucks. But I came down here and I whacked on it earlier, and I didn't make any progress, and then I came back and I whacked on it again, and then this top half came out, and then I just came down here now and just noticed that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest out of there, and then this should come out. So let me go ahead and get that done and see what it looks like. All right, so actually I just was taking a look at this, so I had to put the vice grips on it to hold the shaft out, but I think I was wrong. There's if you can see the key and then everything that's beneath it, so there is actually a cutout in the shaft, but it doesn't come all the way out, which is kind of weird. So it is, there's like there's a hollow spot, so that should come out. Okay, I just got it out. So this is what it looks like, and then now you can see like what it's just a little hole, I guess, that accepts this. But that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. I should have it out here in a second. All right, so here we go. I just pulled this out. There's the shaft that we were just looking at, and here's the sides. There was 3 bolts in here, these little spacers, and then there's the 3 bolts are still in there. Tip it up, you can see that. And here is the bushing. There's the part that I broke, and I don't know how tight this should be. It seems like it's a solid piece, like it's not like a bearing, but I'm not sure. Like this, I can see there's a ring right here, but it's all solid, so I don't think there's like a bearing I can press out of here or anything. But that's about it for tonight. I'm gonna sign off now, but I got this out, so I'm happy with that. Tomorrow I need to disassemble this and then get a look inside of here, and then get a look at those worm gears, worm drive, and see what kind of shape that's in, because that's really going to be the big question on how much more I got to put into this. But I'm happy with this. I'll be able to drop this. I'll drop this in and drop these pieces in the tank with the electrolysis and get this stuff cleaned up pretty good. So I have a plan for that. But this is a big relief that I got this out, all aside out, or got it apart now. and then I'll have to switch my focus back to this. All right, so I just got this auger disassembled, and I don't know if you can tell, but I think that worm gear looks all right. Obviously I need to clean it up and take some measurements on it, but my understanding is I think this one is brass and the one inside of there is steel. So, and that one looks pretty good too, but if I had to replace one of them, I think it would probably be more likely this one, and this one should be fine. I still got to take this nut off here and then so I can divorce the impeller, but this is good news, I think, considering what I'm seeing here. So I got the augers over here. So yeah, that came off all right. Those weren't seized. And that worm gear doesn't look too bad. So that's the update. I think I'm going to try to get that off, get that cleaned up, and take some measurements on it, and then I should be about done with the parts, I think, at that point. Because if that is clean, then that was really the last part, like, or the deepest part that I hadn't got to yet. And then it's really moving on to getting electrolysis set up. Well, I guess degreasing everything, taking all the parts, degreasing them, and then moving on to setting up the electrolysis, and then kind of being somewhat ready for paint pretty quickly, because I don't want the stuff to flash rust. Although I won't have flash rust. I'm going to use this Ospho. This works pretty well once you have bare metal.
Well, I probably shouldn't have, but I got on Facebook Marketplace and came across this, and I couldn't help myself. So this is a Simplicity 13 horse 38-inch bucket. Got it for, it was listed on Facebook Marketplace for like $550. I got it for like $500. So I'm gonna go up to my neighbor's now, try to see if we can get it out of the back of the truck. I think he has some ramps, but we might just park it on the back end of the hill and see if we can get it off that way. So I'll show you guys once I get it out and running. All right, so I'm down in the basement right now. I got set up. I'm starting to work on my parts. I'll show you what I got going on. Let me take you outside first. So I got my ultrasonic cleaner. Before I open the door, it's kind of noisy. I'll have to shut it off. But I have the ultrasonic cleaner doing the small parts and doing like kind of the final rinse. Actually, let me show you the parts washer first. So I got the parts washer over here, and that's for the big stuff like the augers that I can't get in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then also doing like kind of the first pass, like getting like the grease off. Mostly just the grease, because that really you can't get off with anything. So I got the parts washer over here. That actually works pretty well. So it's unplugged right now, but I turn it on and I kind of just point the hose at it, and that just kind of does the work. And then obviously I got brushes down. It's hard to point. I got brushes down there to try to mechanically remove it. And then I was running the ultrasonic cleaner in here, but it was getting kind of smelly. I started off with degreaser. I got degreaser in the parts washer too. I think 1 to 20 parts. But let me go outside. We'll show you the parts washer. Just watch your ears for a sec. All right, there we go. So here is my parts washer. Or sorry, here is the ultrasonic cleaner. I got it on heat right now, and it's set to like 60 C. So I think that's like times 2.2 for Fahrenheit, if I'm not incorrect. And then in this bucket here, let me turn you guys around. All right, so in my bucket here, I've got gasoline and a little bit of degreaser. And then that is doing a lot better than the degreaser. I was trying it with degreaser last night in a smaller bucket, but it just, it wasn't cutting through the grease. Granted, like I just said, I wasn't really able to get through the grease at all, so you really gotta scrub that. But I think the gasoline does a better job. So that's what that looks like. You can't quite see it. It was bubbling before with the heat, but I just moved it outside. But that's an update. Doing a pretty good job. So just kind of working through this. Like I said, I got the big parts over there, so I'm just kind of working through my backlog of parts, and then hopefully I'll start the electrolysis today on the smaller stuff. I've got the, let's see if you can see it. I've got the 250 gallon IBC tote. That's for the, where is it? That's for the body of the blower. Maybe the augers, but I'm going to start off small inside and just kind of get some of this stuff started, because I want to just get it coated and just make some progress. I'm not ready to cut up the IBC tote yet, and then that's going to have to be outside. Granted, it all probably should be outside because of the hydrogen. Granted, I was just doing the gasoline inside, so that's really not much better. But that tote is definitely going to have to be outside. Maybe I can get away with doing the small electrolysis inside, but I'm not going to be able to get that tote through the door. Not where I want to cut it anyway. I probably could cut it down shorter, but I'd like to retain it for use in the future. So I'm going to cut it pretty much at the top, and that's like 40 inches or something. So it's not going to make it through my door. So I'll start electrolysis inside in a smaller container, do the small parts, get those done, get something accomplished. And when the weather gets a little bit warmer, it's actually pretty warm today, but that way I won't be dealing with the fighting the temperature, the freezing temperature. I'll do the body of the snowblower, and then that will be that. So that's a quick update. But yeah, it's working pretty well. This is a Vevor 30 liter, and I got this on Temu for like 150 bucks, I think, like with a coupon. I think it was like 180 maybe, like before the coupon, but pretty happy with this. All right, that's it. All right, I'll check in with you guys later. All right, so quick update. I finished up the ultrasonic cleaning and the parts washer. I just finished up. These are some jaw pullers. They were kind of covered in mouse doo-doo. They were out in my old trailer and got eaten into. The box got eaten up, and they took it home up in there for the last probably 10 years. So I'm moving on to the electrolysis. I got a 5-gallon bucket there, hot water. I had to get my washing soda. I had to order that on Amazon because I couldn't find it locally. And I'm going to sink it in this red bucket over there. I got some sacrificial metal in there, so I'll turn you guys around and I'll show you that. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, and there's the old, there's the ultrasonic, all the old fluid. I got to drain it off in a minute. And then I just got one of those 15-gallon fuel dollies. My plan is when I go up to Vermont is to get some ethanol-free fuel and then have it on hand. I don't know if I'm going to get a 4-wheeler this season or not, but it's nice to have an ethanol-free fuel. So okay, there's the 5 gallons. Got a tablespoon here, and then this is the part I'm going to clean. So you can see it's still pretty rusty, and then this is going to go in here. Well, I gotta try to position this right, so there we go. All right, so, well, this doesn't even matter because this isn't even going to be connected. This is from an old setup we had. I don't remember exactly how we were using it, but I remember we were using this kind of going across like a 50-gallon bucket or 50-gallon garbage can. So that's not touching, so that's good. I'll probably tighten that up a little bit because I want that to be hanging on the copper. So this will be my sacrificial piece. I'll connect this side. There's my charger. So yeah, let me go ahead. Let me put some water in there. Let me get the baking soda, and I'll show you when I get it turned on. All right, so forgive the vertical video, but I went to go hook up that battery charger, and of course it's too smart for its own good that it didn't want to put out any voltage. So I got my voltage tester, and I have a old battery in my old trailer. And I'm kind of dating myself a little bit here because I think I got that trailer in probably 2010 when I first moved out to the Rockport area. And of course I'm still thinking like, oh, that'll work. I mean, I only need like kind of a sacrificial battery, but I took the voltage. It's got like 0.7 volts. So I'm hoping that's enough to trick the jumper into working. So I don't really care. This was a battery that, granted, that's the trailer. It's pretty rough. I got that for like $700 in like, I think 7, 8, I think it's like 2010. Yeah, it's like 3 years after I graduated high school. And it had, you can see, it's a blue top Optima right there in the corner of the screen. So I got my sockets. I got to disconnect it, but it came with this. So I don't know how old it was when it came with it, but it was actually, I remember I got it from a guy, I think it was in Rhode Island. Drove down there, picked it up, $700. He got it from somebody else. It's a horse trailer converted into like a utility, like construction trailer. And the guy before him put a small, like 1 foot by 1 foot solar panel on it and the blue top Optima in there. So it's probably going on, at least I've had it for 15 years. So it's probably like closer to 20. But that's where we're at. So I'll give you guys an update once I get it disconnected and back in the house. Hopefully this will work. If not, I'll go pull one off my old truck that's newer, and I know that's probably still delivering something because I use it for lights and stuff occasionally. So let me go ahead and pull that out. All right, so I got that hooked up. it's kicked it out of the smart mode, so it's charging. I'm only getting about 2 volts, 2.1. I mean, I think when I went out there, it was like 0.7. So we'll see if this is enough. I just took the piece of Romex I had that held my storm door open, so I just stripped the ends off that. I got to try to connect it, and yeah, we'll see. Let me see if I can get that, and we'll see if it works. Well, I don't think that's doing anything. I've got it set right now to 15 amps, but I think my voltage is still too low, probably. And I'm not sure if I'm getting a great connection. I did take that out and clean it with the wire wheel, but it's kind of a weird part to try to get. But I think I'm done messing with this right now. Let me go ahead and turn around. So yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done messing with it for the moment. But this actually brings me to my other point, not for this reason, but I'm actually getting a dedicated DC bench power supply. So that was the meter, Harbor Freight meter. So this brings me to my next point. So I'm going to get a DC bench power supply. And the reason for that is when I did this like 10 years ago, I had one of these big car jump starters, and we were running it at 250 amps, or whatever the max setting was. But my neighbor is an electrical engineer, a retired electrical engineer. He's pretty brilliant. So if you run 250 amps for like anything like over 150, I think 133, 150, I forget exactly, you're gonna probably blow your 20 amp breaker in your house. Let's turn that off. You're probably gonna blow your breaker in your house after 10 seconds or more. So what he did is he limited the current. He's got all sorts of spare parts and things like this. He took the that wiggly wire that's like in a toaster oven or like a microwave oven, toaster oven, and he like wired it up, and it like limited the current. All right, brief intermission. My wife got home a little bit earlier than I thought. But so anyway, I was saying about the old charger. So pretty much, yeah, what my neighbor did is he brought down this like that thermal wire that you see that gets red hot in like a toaster oven, and he hooked that in. I don't remember exactly how we ran it, to be honest, but he hooked it up, and it wasn't enough that it got hot, but it was I'm trying to remember. He's real brilliant. He's like 80 now, but he pretty much cut it to size, so like it wouldn't get hot, but it like limited the current so that we wouldn't flip the breaker, and it wasn't putting that much amps into the water. But the reason I'm bringing that up is so that was how we did it last time. So I picked up another one of these chargers at Harbor Freight, but we burned it up. I don't remember. We got some decent use out of it, and I was doing some heavy stuff. Like I was doing like a Dana 60 front axle and leaf springs, and I don't remember what else we did. Rims, a lot of rims, like probably 6 dually rims, maybe 7. So we got our use out of it, but in conversations with him, and also us using AI, the reason I think that happened is that those are not meant for continuous duty. They're meant for, especially at that amperage, if I'm using anything like over 20 amps, it's at best rated for, so many seconds. Now, granted, we were limiting the current, but it's kind of not really the right tool for the job. So what AI, and I confirmed it with my neighbor, is a bench DC power supply or an industrial DC power supply is really the way to go, because those are meant to like run constantly at whatever current they're rated for. So I went on AliExpress and I found one, I think 100 or 2000 watts, 0 to 15 volts. I don't remember what amps that is. I think like 133 amps. So I think it would trip the breaker if I went all the way, because it's rated for 2000 watts and you can really only get 1800 watts continuous out of a 20 amp breaker, or you're only supposed to. So anyway, but hopefully that'll be here. I don't know when. That stuff usually tends to take a while, or sometimes it can take a while. But so that's going to be the direction I'm going to go with this anyway. And that way I'm not really worried about burning it up. It was about the same cost as that, but if I continue to use that the way I did 10 years ago, I'll burn that up and I won't have it. Versus if I get the power supply, hopefully, in theory, it should stand up and continue to do it for years and years. So I'm not like throwing money away on that, at least for the same cost anyway. That's my thought process. Granted, that's a little bit more universal, but I have battery chargers that I can use. Nothing big like that, but For the most part, I think I can deal. I don't usually need a big jumper like that, and if I do, I'll get it in the future. But so that's the update on that. I think I might go out and steal one of those batteries off my truck, because I really want to see this work. Because the other thing is I put hot water in there. I don't think I said that before, but when you use hot water, the chemistry tends to react better. Or that's how it's been explained to me. So I think when you heat things up, chemistry things like kind of are more active, or at least in this chemical reaction. So having it be warmer is a benefit. So that's probably like, there was probably like 120, 140 degrees when I took it out, probably 120 off the hot water straight. So I don't know what it is now, but it's still hot. So I kind of really want to get this working, even if it doesn't work well. So that, or like another battery charger, small one, like a benchtop one. I might go steal that out of my trailer. So maybe I'll do that first. Get the battery charger, see if that works. If that doesn't work, then switch to get another 12-volt battery, see how that works. And then if that doesn't work, I guess I'll be stuck waiting. So let me go see about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that, because I kind of want to close the loop on this tonight to at least get it working. Not well, but at least working. All right, I'll check in with you guys in a bit. All right, we got a little bit of bubbles. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. There we go. All right, seems to be working. I found another battery. The other charger didn't work. I had the same problem, but we're up and running, so I'll let you guys know if it keeps working. All right. All right, so as you can see, she's working. There's all the rust. Let me get out of the way of the light. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't know if you can hear that. I'll try to be quiet for a sec. It's like bubbling. Let me go ahead and shut this off and get a look at what this part looks like. I haven't looked yet. How easy it is for you guys to tell, but it's got like a nice black to it. I need to go get something I can dunk this in so I can get a better look at it. So let me go do that, and I'll come back to you, and then we'll get a better look at it. Turn this back on for a minute so you guys can see. I think that was on 15 before. Actually, yeah, it's still pretty warm. Yeah, let me go get something because I want to rinse it off so we can see what it looks like. All right, let's see. Shut this off. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Come on. All right, now go here under the light. Got a bucket of water. See what it looks like before. There you go. I don't know. Try to get under the light. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's real black. It's still a little bit of, well. You know what? I need a brush. Let's get a wire brush too. There's some rust on there, but I don't really think it's on there. I think it's just like lightly on there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. It's nice and black. I know what it looks like, but I'm trying to explain it to you guys. Oh, got the magnet stuck on there. Oh, yeah, look at it. It all comes off. So this black is fine. You kind of want to get it off. I think a little bit. If I remember, yeah, actually, so like it just in the feeling, like it still felt like rust, but like I just like it. I guess it is rust, or what was rust, but now like it feels like smoother metal, I guess. So I'll do the other side. I don't know if I need to do this or if I just kept letting it do its thing and it would do it on its own. It's only, I know I didn't give you guys timestamps, but I don't know, my wife got home and I went and found that battery and then ate dinner and came back down. But let's see, actually. Let's see if I can get you guys a better look at this side, because you can actually see through the black a little bit. Oh, you know, it'd be nice if I threw it back in the Ultrasonic. Might be good for that, but it's still a little rough on this side. Try the metal brush. I don't remember having to scrub it this much, but then again, it's been like 10 years since I last did this, so I
could just not be remembering. And that's a little better. Now you guys can see, like you just barely see the silvery part behind it. The black I think is fine. I'm just trying to get it kind of smooth. I mean, I think this is pretty much done. Like, I don't think I need to put it back in at all because there is no rust. This will flash rust if I remember correctly. And then I'm going to use yeah, it's still a little rough. I might put it in just a little bit longer, just to see. I probably should have taken a picture because I probably could have shown you guys better than on the video, but yeah, that's like, it's nice and smooth right there. And you can kind of see it now, like what it looks like. It looks like iron. I also think that this water is real black now. So maybe I need more fresh water. Yeah, there's still parts. Like, I'd like to be like as smooth as the rest, but I mean, for what it is, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this feels good. Let me just kind of feel it out. Yeah, let me work on this a little bit and then I'll come back to you guys so you're not watching me the whole time. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it back in. I might just work it a little bit more. I'm going to get some fresh water. Try to get this black off my hands and then see what I can come up with. All right, I'll check in with you guys in a bit. Well, it was a good thing I was down here because this just caught fire. I turned the charger off, but I forgot to disconnect the battery, or the positive on the battery, and this had floated into this, and so it shorted. And you can, let me see if I can zoom in there. I don't know if you can see that black wire. It's all melted. I mean, it was literally on fire. I could see it, I could hear it, and then I looked over and I could see it smells a little bit right now too. So it's actually a little bit of smoke in here. Yeah, you can see the smoke too. But so luckily I was down here. I disconnected it. I'll probably disconnect this side too, just to be on the safe side. That's off. That'd be good for tonight. So anyway, so here we go. You can kind of see that a little bit better now. That's kind of what it should look like. So now what I'm going to do, this did not flash rust because I dried it off, I guess, quick enough, but it will pretty quick. I'm going to take some of this stuff. Ospho, I think this is phosphoric acid. Stops rust, repairs rusted surfaces for painting. So I am just going to take one of these chip brushes. It smells in here now. Actually, you know what? This is probably a better container for this. I'll probably be using this for a few days, so let that cap go. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush this on here. Oh yeah, I kind of remember this stuff. It's coming back to me. And then this will leave kind of like a dusty finish on it. And then I'll have to clean that off. It won't be like real, it won't be like a real tough finish. It just like, it won't flake off, but I don't know, just like a little dust. And then I'll clean that off, and then this will be ready for paint. But I think you want to clean the dust off because it'll hurt your finish, because it's not really on there. It's just like, I don't know what to call it, but so this also like kind of changes the color a little bit too, I think. Like, I think this helps bring out that more iron look. This might turn black again too, I can't remember. So that's that.
So that's it for tonight. I just wanted to, like I said earlier in the video, I just kind of wanted to get it working. So now in practice, I can, you know, figure out what my next part is. Maybe this little guy. Do that tomorrow. But yeah, it works. I think I'm happy. Whenever my DC power supply gets here, I'll be set up for that. And these small parts, it really isn't that bad. I was doing 15 amps, and that was pretty quick. I could probably actually drop down to 2 amps and just take longer, especially on these small parts. And then when I get to these parts, and then especially when I get to this guy, when I get to this guy, it'll be interesting for you guys to see, because this will actually, it will take the paint off. They'll take all that off. There was no paint on that, so that wasn't that bad. But that was just like, that lifted all the rust off of it. So yeah, that's the update on that. I think I'm good for tonight. I'm gonna let that dry. I'll take a look at that tomorrow, clean off the dust, and then set it somewhere until I get the paint set up, because I'm gonna spray. I don't know if we can see it over here. Let me turn the light on. Let me zoom in. So I got the Farm and Implement John Deere green and John Deere yellow, and then I got the rusty metal primer and then the clean metal primer. So I'll use the white primer on the yellow parts. Then I'll use the red primer on the green parts. And the reason I'm going to use the red primer is just because it's pitted and I kind of want it to fill in a little bit better. And then on the yellow, I don't think it will show through real well if I use the red on it. So I'll defer back to the clean white primer for that. But yeah, so that's it. I'm going to call it a night though, because it's getting close to bedtime. So I'll check in with you guys when I have an update. All right. All right, a little update. I just finished my second piece here. And I set this back up because to get that black stuff off. So I didn't really scrub it. I just scrubbed this just a little bit just now. But really what I did is I took it out of there. I brought it outside. I hosed it off just to kind of get the bulk of it off, like all the loose stuff, and just to kind of keep my water clean. And then I dumped it in here and I ran that for maybe like 40 minutes or something like that. The reason I did that is not necessarily because I'm lazy, but I could have cleaned this one up with the wire brush, but I wanted to test it out because, well, actually this is probably a good piece. Like, I don't know, I could have cleaned these, but also cleaning the inside, and then just trying to see if I have something that would work, where I don't have to mechanically remove it for these more difficult ones. Like, for example, this guy. Granted, I'll probably only paint the outside of that, but, or like this guy, where I got that long shaft. So just having that, I guess, in my arsenal to know if I can get this black, I think it's called, not masonite, but mason something, get it off. So I just dried this off. I'm going to go ahead and apply some of that Ospho on here before it starts rusting. Here's that piece from yesterday after it's had some time. So these are good. I'll just start setting these on the bench, and then when I'm done, when the weather's better, I'll take it outside and paint it. I got the next piece in there. That's probably been going for maybe an hour or two. So I got kind of a setup now. I'm kind of moving along. See how many amps I'm pulling. 4. So this is nice. It's, you know, it's not as powerful as like what I was describing, but to be honest, I think it's probably better for these smaller parts. Yeah, I'm going with the lower amperage. When I get to this, I'll need to probably pick it up a little bit because there's a lot of surface area on that. But yeah, that's the story. I'm sticking with it. All right, guys. All right, guys. So the video is probably just around 30 plus minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, and we'll do a part 3. But just a quick update, I guess, on where we're at. So I got the Auger divorced from the Auger housing. I started doing the electrolysis and the cleanup on some of my, or cleaned up all the parts with the degreaser and the electrolysis, or the ultrasonic, and started the electrolysis inside. So I'm not going to make you guys watch any more of that. I'll finish the electrolysis and the small parts. But what I got for the next video anyway is I got that power supply. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. So this is a 2000 watt 30 amp 120. Oh wow, actually I'm just thinking about that now. I'll need I'll have to figure out how to run that. But so it's 15 volt DC or 133 amp DC. So this will be able to pump out a lot of juice. This is rated for continuous. This was I think AliExpress purchase. I got this for like 170, 190, I forget exactly. Whatever it was the same as that Viking
battery charger. So I'm going to bring that back to Harbor Freight, get my money back on that, reinvest that into this, because I think this is going to be a better tool for the job long term. So as you can see, this is all that came in the box. So I got to get some 12-2. I've got some in my crawl space. I'll cut a length of that, mount a 20 amp plug on here. And then on this side, this will be my AC DC going to my my metal in my electrolysis. And then I've got the little adjustments here. But anyway, I'll go into that in detail in the next video. And then probably getting the big electrolysis set up out in the yard. We're getting into those spring weathers. Like we're hitting some 50-degree days. Ideally, it'd be a little bit warmer, but maybe by the time I get to this, and if I'm lucky, I get the right day, I'll get it set up. So yeah, look forward to that, I guess, in the next video, and I'll probably find something else by then to get into. So if you watch this far, thanks for watching, and I appreciate if you give me a like or subscribe, and hopefully you liked it. All right, thanks, guys.